Okay, it's that time of year again. I'm going to be smoking some cheese. I do this every year and give them away as gifts. They usually turn out really nicely. So here's what we have. I got 4 different kinds of cheese. I got 2 bricks of regular Gouda, not already smoked. I got 2 bricks of sharp Wisconsin cheddar boar's head. I got a round of provolone, and I've got a brick of pepper jack. I think all of these will turn out great smoked, so definitely looking forward to this. And one thing I decided to do this year is get cheese that I could tell apart. I don't have to keep a list or map them out on my smoker. I'll know what each one of these is very, very easily, and that's one thing I wanted to do this year just to simplify things. I'm going to do something a little different this year than I've done before, so let's get into it and let's get this on the smoker for an hour or 2. Okay, so here's our cheese. I just opened up the packages and I essentially split each brick in half. I did go ahead and remove the wax covering from the Gouda. None of the other cheeses had that. So here's what I'm going to do that's a little bit different today. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to coat these in some rub. I've got 2 different kinds of rub here. One of them is Dano's Spicy, and one of them is Holy Voodoo from Meat Church, Cajun rub. So I'm just going to start, no particular plan. We're just going to add a little rub to each one of these. I don't know if I'll do every single side on all of them. I'm kind of just going to see how it goes, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the coverage on these might not be great. I'm not going to use any kind of moisture or anything here, so we'll just see what happens. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to tell these apart once I get them done. Let me go ahead and do this other brick of provolone in the spicy Danos. I'm not that worried about keeping them separated though. If I don't remember, it's fine. Do the Gouda kind of half and half. And I'm not going to do the part that the wax was on because it's pretty dry and I don't think it would stick that well anyway. So, all right, so I'll get these all covered in the rub and we'll meet you outside. We're going to get the smoker fired up. I'm actually excited to use the new Yoder on this, and I'll talk a little bit about why once we get out there. It'll be the first time I've smoked cheese on the Yoder. So we will see you outside. So I don't know if you could hear that or not, but when you start the Yoder, the fan starts blowing. So you don't even have to turn the igniter on and it will circulate the air. And I love that feature about this cooker for just this use. So we're gonna light our pellets here. And I got way more pellets than I need for this. It's just easier to light when it's full. So when I'm done, I'll dump the top layer of pellets out that's smoldering, and we'll save the rest. But this is just so much easier to do when the tube is full. So I'll let this go about a minute. So we'll let that flame continue to smolder for just a little bit, and then I'll blow it out. And I've never had this thing fail. It'll just keep smoldering on down, producing nice smoke. I'm using cooking pellets right now, the I think competition blend or something like that. It's got several hardwoods, including cherry and apple, which I really like for this. So I'm gonna go inside and get the cheese ready, and we'll come back out. All right, so we should be, yeah, that's smoldering nicely. Got a little bit of flame. And so we're just gonna put this on the upper rack with that tube on the lower rack. You can do it on the same level, it's not that big of a deal. But this is the ideal time of year to do this here where I'm from in Ohio. Temperature right now is about 32, it's a high of 36. You got a little flexibility, but 90 degrees and above, you'll start to kill your cheese. It'll start to leach its oil, and even if it doesn't melt, it's not as good, in my opinion. So this is a perfect time of year where I'm from to do this cold smoking. We're probably looking at 2 hours we want to keep this on. Any more than that, and it'll get over smoked, in my experience. But even just an hour, if you just want a light smoke, will do the trick. So we're just gonna let this go. I will probably come out after an hour and turn this rack at the very least. I might even turn some of the cheese, if not all of it, kind of to the opposite side, or at least a quarter turn, just to get some different exposure. So we will bring you back whenever we come back. Otherwise, I'm shutting this down, and we'll see you soon. Okay, our cheese has been on the smoker for 58 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll take a look. Nice smoke rolling from the tube there. Fan still going on the Yoder YS640. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. I'm going to spin this tray around. Again, just to kind of get some even smoke. And I'm also going to turn all of these blocks of cheese, maybe just a quarter turn. Everything's still nice and cold in here, as you would expect. Getting some little condensation moisture there. Not a big deal, that happens. There we go. So we're gonna get this lid closed back down. Probably be on here another hour, and we'll call it. So I will bring you back. All right, we've been on 2 hours, which is gonna be enough smoke. So not much to look at, but we're gonna get this inside and get it on the countertop and let it bloom. So we're gonna let it sit out an hour or two, and then we'll move on to the next step. The only problem with smoking cheese is you gotta wait a little while to eat it. So we're talking 2 or 3 weeks, so we're not even gonna have a taste test on this video. But let's get it inside, and I'll show you what we're gonna do for the final step here in an hour or two. All right, so our cheese has been resting on the countertop for almost 2 hours. Really smells great. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna vacuum seal this. I've got my chamber vac here, but you could just use Ziploc bags or plastic wrap. It's totally fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and use the vacuum sealer. And then these are just gonna go into the fridge to rest for several weeks. You wanna give them at least a week to 10 days for sure. And that's probably not long enough. 2 weeks would be better, 3 weeks even better. But you just want them to kind of mellow out. You want that smoke to kind of permeate the cheese. Right now, and if you try it too soon, you'll find it acrid and not pleasant. So here we go. I think. go. It's going through the sealing process now. I love this chamber vac. I'll put a link to it in the description. And there we go. This is one of our slices of Gouda. So I'm going to do the rest of these and then we'll come back and we'll close this video out. Okay, so I got all my cheese vacuum sealed. Last year I actually used wax to cover the cheese. There's a special kind of wax you can get. It worked great. And I'm just bringing this out because this is a year old, this cheese, and it's still good. So the smoking really preserves it nicely. And you don't want to be in a hurry to eat it because the flavor just gets better with time. But this is the stuff I did for gifts last year. The wax got a little bit dry, so it's not super simple to peel off. Not that big of a deal though. And that cheese is excellent. Great smoky flavor. That's pepper jack. I forget what all kinds I did last year, but there's a video out there of it. But these are great gifts to give. I will put links in the description for the smoke tube I used, the cooking pellets that are sort of my go-to these days, as well as the vacuum sealer. So if you have any interest, click on those links. And we will see you next time at BuQeye BBQ.